Lately, I've been seeing everyone doing their like 2025 journals, planners, hauls, tours, whatever, and I have just really figured out my system. So I thought that I would share it with you, and we're gonna go through the journals. I need things for the macro and the micro of life. So this is my everyday take it with me planner. I de-influenced myself, and maybe I can de-influence you from getting a Louise Carmen and paying $600 before you know if you'll even use it. Because now listen, if I'm ever in Paris, yes, I'll be getting a Louise Carmen. But I needed to like prove to myself that I would even use something like this. I'm obsessed. I have my common planner that I just use. It's my favorite thing. And then I have an extra journal in the back for doodling, commonplace, kind of notes keeper. If you want me to like do a deep dive into this, how I use my common planner, because I do astrology, daily tarot cards, but also like daily life, how I use this, please let me know, because I would love to deep dive about this. This is my baby. And if like I even have things stamped on here in my charms. Yeah, just like if you want a tour of this and how this works, holla at me. Another journal that I have is this one. I've had this for years. It's just a small catch-all. I just need something that I can put random things in, and then can pick up if I can't find this, or if I've left something at work, or sometimes I tear pages out of this to use when I'm doing like some rituals or different things and put them in other journals. So this I've just had for years, and I'm obsessed with it. Okay, before we get into like my creative journals, we'll finish the like writing journals, because I separate. I have my creative journals, and then I have my more like writing planning journals. And so like I said, this is the micro, daily, random, travel, brain dump. This is the macro of life, and this one's actually finished. So I have to get a new one. I don't do a journal every year. I just don't do daily journaling, like in-depth journaling. I like write to-do lists more, or like write down random thoughts. I often find myself really doing like long journal entries on like days of full moons, or when I have some really introspective thoughts. And so that is what goes in here, just long ramblings. This is actually, let me double check. This is 3 years worth of entries, and I just like to go back and look at this because it shows growth and also thought process. It's really important for me to be able to go back and be like, haha, you did feel that way, bitch. And so that's what this is for. I actually have others of these, and I'll be getting another one, and I need to actually label this with some tape, and I'll just put the dates on it, and I keep these, but I like to put them in a pretty thing, and either lined or blank paper. So this is the macros of life. On to my creative journals. This one started as a dump journal, junk journal, dump junk, yada 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 yada. I drew my dream house in here a couple years ago. All of my journals, pretty much except for like my daily planner, are rolling journals. Like I don't know. I'm gonna fill it up, and it might take me a couple years, and I'm down with that. I'm diggity down with it. But I've completely just decided to change this, and it is now going to be solely a recipes book, where I'm putting in all of my recipes, my family's recipes, and I like to make them pretty and collage a little bit with them. So junk journal recipe book that's now just going to be recipes, because I like to keep things. Okay, then, because I've decided to make this just my recipe book, I have decided to use these two journals from high school, where I really only filled out like the first probably like 10 pages. I could never let these go, because this is like a historical document of truth, honest, and feeling. But I just never journaled enough when I was in high school. I really wish I did. I really wish I had more to look back on and read like I do now that I have like post like 19. But these are like babies. I'm gonna turn these into junk journals memory keepers. That way I can preserve the entries that are in there from high school, but I can also like use these so they're not just like half written in journals. Okay, now on to more like still creative but magical things. Remember when I said I use that other like tiny one to like write things in and I'll tear it out? This is kind of what I use it for. I'm gonna start with this one. This is my grimoire. I won't be getting into it. I mean, I could show you a page, but my plan is, and once again, this is going to take years to fill up, maybe even decades. But see how I have like those little scrap papers? There's papers falling out of here. But I use this to track symbols, spells, anything that I'm doing for my kind of like spiritual witch practice. And so I'm going to fill this up, and this is my trial and error grimoire that I will love, but eventually once this is all filled up and I'm more like foundational in my practice, I'm going to like transfer and organize all of this into like a giant grimoire and really like hand paint everything. So, but this is my baby. And once again, you can use journals for years. Like I said, I've had this for 2 years now, and I have lots of little things written down that I need to like transfer into here to make it look nice. But that's gonna take time, and it takes time to learn things. Like, I kind of wish like we can't manufacture use, of things. Sometimes I don't love like when people get a journal and they completely cover and customize it, or like a planner, and they go through like, I don't know, take your time a little bit. So hopefully I can de-influence you from capitalism, because take your time. Once again, another witchy woo. This is my manifestation journal. Can I show you anything in here? I did just put my vision boards for the year in here, so I can, and I've posted that, so I can show you that. But things that get written in here happen, and it has to be done with like intentionality, and but this is a very special baby. So yeah, let me know if you want any more details, but these are my journals.